Kelvin, JoJo's 2 blocks in that sequence, triggering the break for you guys in the second half there. How impactful are those plays and shifting things?
Yeah, he and JVA both having 2 rim protectors with great timing. Both of them have really good timing. JoJo probably is a little quicker to the ball, but that was great. But I thought the guy that really came in and gave us a spark tonight was Mylik. LJ's been sick the last 2 days. Cordell too. Cordell didn't dress out tonight because he's sick. We just told him to stay home, and we left it up to LJ whether he even wanted to play. He wanted to play. He wanted to give it a go. So, which is not surprising. LJ's a tough kid, but I'm not sure how much he played in the last 10 minutes. But I thought Emanuel got us going, and then we kind of got too comfortable, and we're not very good being comfortable. Our defense was okay, but our ball movement. And then second half, obviously, we made some adjustments and saw how they were defending the post. So instead of throwing the ball to J1 on the post, we threw it to him on the roll. And once he gets on the roll, now he can make a decision. It's a good win. It's the hardest thing in the world is to play as good as we played. And after 36 years of being a head coach, I knew tonight was going to be the way it was. You got to really be no clue about basketball to think that Saturday was going to be normal. That is, we may never play like that again. And if we don't, I'm glad we did it once. You can't do that every game. Tonight is a grind. Tonight showed you what the Big 12 is. That team had a chance to win at Arizona. They beat Xavier at home. They beat Kansas. That's a good team. Kansas State's a good team and well coached. Number 21, crafty, smart, tough. He's a good player. So, good win for us. Get some rest tomorrow. Come back on Wednesday and get ready for Kansas State on Saturday.
With playing 3 games in the last 8 days, would you say the team has enjoyed the rhythm of the more frequent play?
What's your name?
Cameron.
That's actually a good point, Cameron. That's something we didn't have a chance to do in November and December because we'd play a game and have 8 days off. Play another game and have 7 days off. We just never could get in a rhythm. But you're right. Have been able to play these games. It's not just the team, but individuals too. It allows them to substitution pattern. Who's coming in for who, when. Sometimes when you're only playing twice every 20 days or every 18 days, you don't substitute like you would if you're playing 3 out of 8 days. So, but we knew that once we got through the non-conference portion of the schedule that we had 10 consecutive weeks of 2 games a week. There is no bye weeks. So everybody's going to play 2 games a week until it ends in March. Good job, Cameron.
Joseph in the middle. You like Joseph?
Yeah.
Teach these old guys something. Huh?
Kelvin, Jamie earlier mentioned 19 turnovers that you guys forced, and they only had 4 assists. Said he probably hadn't seen that before, but just credit for what your defense did there and sort of being able to.
Yeah. You guys see it. I'm assuming you guys are asking metaphorically because you see it all the time. It was like your first question of the night was, how was our defense? Our defense is our defense. Exactly. And that's the problem with taking it for granted. It's like nobody appreciates it. The other schools and the other coaches and the other players. I think they realize how good it is. But there's a lack of appreciation probably. But that's all right. That's the way it is locally. Usually the national people that don't see you very often have more respect for you. That's the way it's been everywhere, though. That doesn't change. So, but our defense is a big part of our offense. It was like Chris asked about those 2 blocks. We turned those into offense. Our guys, we're getting turnovers now that we didn't get in November, though. We were a step late or stopped short or we're too early. We didn't have it. Our defense is January defense. That's why, for me, I just know that, if you want to be 13-0, we're good enough to be 13-0. Schedule that way. But I think it's better for us to schedule, and even though we could have won those games, losing came into play. But we weren't ready to win those games then. I think we're a lot better now. Not that we would still win them. We could still lose those teams. Those teams are really good. But I think our team feels better about where we are. The one thing you can't control is whether the ball goes in. Like J1 went for a reverse layup, right? Missed it. Mercy missed the layup. J1 missed 3 points. You put those in, how many do we have tonight? We have 70. Somebody said, well, he only scored 65. Well, we could have scored 80 if we would have made more shots. It's not like we're not trying to score more points. TCU's defense is ranked 25th in the nation. Ours is what are we, number 1 or 2? But they're number 25. If you're in the top 50, if you're in the top 75, you're really good defensively. And they're 25. That shows you how good their defense is. So, just a typical Big 12 game. Just come out and figure a way to win it and move on to the next one.
We'll go to Chancellor here in the back left.
Hey, Kelvin, it feels like for some teams and some opponents, it takes them a little while to adjust to the speed and the physicality of your guys' defense. In what ways have you kind of seen that, if that's a fair assessment? And to that point, is there more of an emphasis to create some separation early and often as they try to adjust to that?
Well, I don't think I'm the person to ask that question because I've seen it 30-plus times a year for years and years and years. Those Oklahoma team's defense is pretty good, too. Our defense is our defense. You see it. You figure it out. And come up with a better question, will you? My girl over here, Cameron, who you write for?
The Cougar.
The school paper?
Yes.
Please. Really? Really? Are you not full-time? Cameron, I take care of my girl over here. See, Andy Ednos used to do that. Now Andy's too cool. He cut his hair. He acts like he's got all the answers now. He's an expert. No, he's not. He's just older. You got smart. Some guys don't necessarily get smarter because they get older. They just get older.
Go ahead, Mylik.
Coach, this team's been one of the better three-point shooting teams throughout the season, and today they were able to make some big shots down the stretch when TCU was only trailing by 5. And how do you feel about this team's ability to make those big shots, especially in the
Depends on who's shooting them, Manav. If JoJo's out there shooting them, not very good. Javier's out there shooting them, no chance. But if it's Emanuel or LJ, Mylik has really improved his three-point shooting. Milos is really improving. Terrence would be the definition of a streaky shooter. His 4 for 5 the other day, I tried to lecture these guys about the next game. He may not make one. So don't get carried away when he does. And so the problem is that you get carried away when he does, and you create an unrealistic expectation, then people get disappointed when he doesn't. Terrence's next game could make 4, then the next game none. That's what streaky shooters do. Emmanuel's not streaky. He's a good shooter. LJ's a good shooter. Their water level will come out at the end. They're going to be somewhere between 37, 38, 39, 40, 42 at the end of the year. A guy like Terrence is, like the tide. Sometimes it goes out, sometimes it comes in. That's why I don't get carried away when they do great, and I don't carry away when they don't. You learn to live with it.
Chris, please.
Mylik, what's been
But
different?
somebody inevitably makes one of these idiotic statements. And if Terrence shoots like that the rest of the year, we're going to be really good. Bruh. He ain't going to shoot like that again, maybe ever. Hope he does. But I watch him every day. You know what I'm saying, Chancellor? Unbelievable the way people think.
Go ahead, Chris.
Mylik, what's been different for you this season with three-point shooting in the last few games for you?
Just putting in the work. I know the work that I put in over the summer and just now, just staying in the gym and just having the confidence and just shooting it. So, and just got to shoot it, when you're open.
Emanuel, is there anything different for you, three-point shooting-wise, for you this season?
Just paying more attention to detail and, listen to the advice that, Coach Q and the rest of the coaching staff gives me. I get a lot of shots up every day and just staying more disciplined with my shot and just, staying in the gym, like Mylik said, every day. We get up a lot of shots. So just staying in the gym and getting more focused in on, the smaller details of my shot.
Time for a couple more questions if we got it. One, go ahead, Chris.
Kelvin, how have you seen Mylik improve this year and sort of embrace part of the leadership?
Yeah, it's one of the things we do. We have our shooting drills are not mundane. They're competitive. So there's always a winner and a loser, and there's always consequences. So they have to shoot at game speed because I'll put 5 minutes on the clock and they have to make 10 shots as two teams. And you're not really shooting against each other. You're shooting against the clock. You got to make 10 shots in 1 minute, right? You have 5 minutes. You got 5 spots. At the end of that 5 minutes, you got to have made 50 shots. And if you start missing them, then you start shooting them quicker. But it's competitive. And you have another team at the other end doing the same thing. So we have multiple drills where there's a winner and a loser. So now you're teaching competition. But Mylik wasn't a very good shooter when he got here. He'd be the first to tell you. But I am so proud of this young man. I am so proud of him because he's made himself into that shooter. I appreciate that these guys want to give our coaches, all of our coaches, a lot of credit. But sometimes you have to deflect it back to them. They deserve the credit. But Mylik's in here a lot of days when nobody's in here but the managers. We have great managers, and they're part of our culture, our managers. But Mylik's earned the right to make those shots. When he had the one over on that left corner, I thought about the one he made against Iowa State last year toward the end of the game and how many hours and hours and hours he's put in the gym. Mylik would be a great role model for a young kid. So would Emanuel. These two guys are great representatives of our program because not only are they great human beings, they're really, really hard workers and tough kids.
Last question, we're going back right, please. Go ahead.
Number 21, Noah Reynolds mentioned earlier how y'all, quote unquote, just don't make mistakes. Do you agree with that perception and statement, and does this speak volumes about how you lead this team?
First of all, I appreciate him saying that. We try not to, but actually we do, from my perspective. But we're in January now, so most of our mistakes were coming in the month of November as we were learning. And I don't think you can hit the fast forward button on mistakes. You have to make them. And that's why I want them to make mistakes, because those mistakes will turn into small victories as we go, like our ball movement. Sometimes we know you're going to double, so we'll get you to doubles. Then we try not to throw it to the weak side. We throw it right in front of it, then we move it and get shots in the corner. And we try to make sure that the right guy is shooting the ball in the corner. So a lot of planning goes into our success, but I give most of the credit to our players for their hard work and dedication. Our kids really, really work hard at it. Yeah, this is a literacy. That's actually a book. It's supposed to be a book. So it's our literacy day.
Coach, Mylik, Emanuel, thanks
Okay.
for your time.